Hello, and welcome to Blood and Hope Detroit, everyone. We missed last weekend. There was some unfortunate power outages and everything like that. Everything's fine. We're all good. Hopefully everyone's been looking forward to this one. This will conclude the end of Chapter 1 for Blood and Hope Atlanta. Jesus Christ. Blood and Hope Detroit. Let's get words right. Someone want to go over what happened last game?
Lottie did something to piss off her sire, and Rev got a book that he really, really wanted, and that's all that happened. That's important. Ish, kind of, sort of, maybe.
It wasn't even really a book, per se. It was just pages. And Rev definitely did something to piss off Lottie's sire. And mugged a Ventru. Beyond that, we also got some wax tablets that hopefully Stephen will use at some point. Not Stephen, William. I got it out early this time.
I'm not the only one who's doing it.
Yeah. And let's see here, what else? Debbie had other prior engagements, so Debbie missed.
Yep, Debbie was taking care of things for her business. Some financial things came up. Maybe potentially directly related to Lottie's money.
Oh boy.
Yes. Rufus has a rose, as well as a couple pages. And then you guys got King, one book that he requested. There were others that you were not able to get him, but you got him one. No one really flipped through the book, though, so no one's exactly sure what it is, other than it had an odd symbol on the front that no one really knows what it was.
Yeah, we trust King.
Do you trust King?
Enough.
Noted. So, this game is taking place roughly a week after the last one. It is now February 7th in game. What would your kindred have done during the week?
William would have taken the wax tablets to Deidre to ask her about how to use them.
Okay. And she would have informed you that the name of them is the Waxen Poetica, and you just really have to throw them at someone that you don't like and that you want to harm. They will encase them in wax and then eventually deal burning. It will burn them inside the cocoon of wax. Very noticeable, so don't use it when you're trying to not be noticed, but very effective. Each one will be used and can only be used once.
William, well, thank you for the information. He would also do some jobs with Charlotte and look for another side job since he lost the gas station job.
Okay. So the jobs for Charlotte will simply be like things like you're cleaning the hotel or you're doing I'm blanking on the name of it, but where you bring the luggage up and things like that. Just working in her hotel and in her lounge a little bit, cleaning. As for looking for a new job, go ahead and do intelligence and wits, and we'll see if you find something.
One.
You do not, unfortunately. Can't find my cheat sheet. So yeah, you are unable to really find another job that will allow you to work nights. And doesn't seem very strict about calling off.
These things happen.
Was there anything else William would have done or liked to try and do during the week?
Nope, that's about it.
Okay. Next up. Lottie, Debbie, Rufus.
I'll go. Debbie would probably spend most of the week interviewing new hirees for the opening positions, trying her best to manage whatever fallout occurred because of the financial issues last week, and keeping an eye on and running favors for Mike and King.
Which, some point during the week, Rev would have probably got a hold of Debbie regarding Chris and his ability to work during the day if she needs an extra set of hands.
She'd probably take you up on that.
Yes, Chris is a day walker, it turns out. He just had not tried it yet because he worked evenings and nights prior to his embrace. So, for interviews and everything, you find a few people. If you were looking for someone to add to your herd, go ahead and roll charisma and something appropriate. That's only if you wanted to try and add someone to your herd. If not, you can hire people without worrying about it.
Might as well try. Charisma and persuasion, maybe? Okay, that's not my best pool, but I can try.
I found my sheet.
No successes, and I'm not going to burn any willpower to reroll that because it's not that critical right now.
Yeah, not a problem. You haven't lost anyone in your herd or anything. It was just an in-game resource boost if you were able to. Mm-hmm. So, you were able to find a few more people. If you wanted to hire Chris as well, he will happily accept.
Sure. It'd probably be good to keep him around, keep an eye on him.
Yes. It is explained to Debbie that Charlotte kind of passed Chris off onto Rufus / the group because Rufus had decided to take responsibility for him.
Is Charlotte unhappy about that?
No, I don't know if I would say intrigued is the right word. You can do charisma and insight if you'd like. I'm assuming you all would have at least seen her once or twice during the week.
Two successes.
That would be enough to know that she's not upset by it. She's intrigued as to why Rufus would do that, and is willing to let this play out how it will. She has no great attachment to the thin blood.
Cool.
Was there anything else?
Besides just keeping in touch with the NOS, that's really about it.
So speaking of the NOS, because I had to step away for a moment, they are increasingly distant and seem to be more and more stressed out when you do see them. The odd jobs they have you do are a little bit strange. It's just kind of like bringing, if you chose to do odd jobs for them, it was just like bringing some papers or a USB somewhere and dropping it off. I don't know if Debbie would plug it in or try to read them. That would be up to you.
At this stage, probably not. She's not going to go snooping through their business.
Okay. So yeah, you just have to drop things off a couple of times, and they are... Both Mike and King seem to be more and more stressed out, but aren't really saying anything to you immediately.
Do they say anything about the books the group picked up?
So William had dropped it off the night of. So they don't give you any more information unless you inquire. And even then, you'd have to roll.
She'd probably bring it up in casual conversation, just out of curiosity of what they managed to procure that night, but not like pushing or fishing for information.
King doesn't really give you a straight answer, just that they're digging into what it could potentially be because they weren't given... The book is in a different language, and they're digging into what it actually is. Before
Do
they
they happen to mention what language?
Nope.
Okay.
Kind of, you assume it was an older one, potentially Latin or subsection of Latin. Based on the description you got from the others. Nothing else?
That was really it.
Okay. Lottie or Rufus?
I'll go first, and then, because I'm sure Rufus will probably have more than Lottie. So, Lottie wouldn't do too much. She probably takes the time over the last few days to double check her finances, especially since she just spent a good bit of money to make sure everything's in order. And I had something, and then I just blanked. I apologize. I guess that's really only the big main thing that I can think of. I apologize for blanking.
That's fine. So the financial situation isn't anything huge. It was just a hiccup. It seemed like a stock super dropped and then picked back up. Nothing that you're insanely worried about or anything like that, but it is something that you're keeping an eye on. You do recognize some of the names that are attached to that particular company. And that is why you know to keep an eye on them.
Okay. Good to know. Can I, as low-key as I can, try to get more information on Valentina?
Yes. How, is there a specific way you would like to go about doing that?
I have no clue.
Okay, that's
fine. I personally have no clue how I want to do that. Maybe just start with, like, her, outside world persona, not her kindred persona, but, you know, her, and start from there.
Okay. Charisma or manipulation and streetwise.
Yeah, nothing good. Only one.
Okay. She's, pretty decent name. She's... The family, at least, the last name has been attached to that casino for a while, although Valentina is new to the area in the last 10 to 20 years. But the family itself has been working and running that for a while.
Okay. I'll work on that slowly.
Yep.
Starting point.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So in that week, Willow will have left. She hasn't returned yet because it was just the past day or two that she had left to renew the bond and then go talk to Terrence. As she does roughly every week. Okay. And now Rufus.
Rufus would have disappeared for a couple days. Not sure exactly where he went. He would have went radio silent had you gotten or tried to get a hold of him. However, when he shows back up, he would get with Debbie about Chris and get with Chris and get him headed more toward a like kindred lifestyle. Give him a good like foothold of like, this is what's expected of you. Let's make sure we're doing this, and kind of treating him like a 2-year-old, to be honest with you, but it's fine.
During that week, would you have upped the bond for the third time?
Yes, he would have.
Okay. So he is fully under your thrall now.
Yes. Rufus would have made the conscious effort to like get his entire flock together and did like a full, not necessarily full sermon, but like a full like, you know, full get together, get everybody together, do the whole like, during that time he would not have fed when they're all together.
Okay.
So he's still sitting at 2. Just making that 100% clear. Would have jumped over to Charlotte's. And hung out for a little bit, not anything too crazy. But before departing, would have given her the rose.
Okay.
Saying, I know that our first meeting wasn't necessarily the best in the world, but hopefully this makes up for it at least a little bit.
She will show somewhat genuine shock when you hand it to her. Just from the rarity of the item that you presented. And be quite thankful. And just excuse me. Say that if you did need her for anything, especially regarding Chris, to contact her, and she would give you her personal number. Where before you have mostly been in contact with Deidre or her ghoul.
Okay. He would put that on his phone. And before departing, he'd be like, I will instruct Chris that if anything were to happen to me, he goes straight to you. Just for the simple fact of somebody needs to watch him. I know he had a rough start, and I want to just make sure that he stays on a good road.
Yes, we don't want anything happening to him. Or because of him.
Yes. Also, at some point during the week, he would have picked up another discipline.
Okay.
It would have been a dominate discipline.
Easy enough to do. We discussed that previously, so you are all good.
Yep. And that is his week in a nutshell.
Okay. No other topics broached with Charlotte?
Not right now.
Okay. Would you have fed at Charlotte's? Or was that part of the abstaining?
That was part of the just holding off for the week.
Okay.
As best he could.
Just making sure. Okay. Any other things anyone wants to do in the last couple days of the week? Okay. Just want to make sure nothing was forgotten or remembered or anything in between. So, it is the night of the 7th. I would like you all to give me your rouse checks.
Success.
Success.
That is a failure on my end.
So you are at 3. Everyone else I would have assumed fed during the week, so you are either at 1 or 2, depending on if you passed or failed. Debbie?
Yeah, I failed, so I'm now at 2.
Okay. So as you wake up for the evening, would anyone like to do anything? We'll start backwards.
Lottie?
Go ahead, Lottie.
Lottie will call or text Valentina probably like a half hour into the day. Not wanting to call too early. Be like, so Willow just left for her weekly routine. I don't think that she should do it again next week. We need to work on this plan to override his bond.
She'll respond back with, okay. Did you have anything in mind?
I mean, she's not going to like it either way. And I don't really want to hold her against her will. But I just don't want her to be bonded to him anymore. I think it's going to be a forced thing, though. I don't have any other better ideas.
She'll respond back with, that's fine. Bring her here when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. No, nothing else other than that. Yeah, so you don't get any more responses back. Bottom 2, Debbie, William.
Debbie will check in with Chris, see how he's acclimating to working, seeing if he needs anything, how he's behaving himself, all that fun stuff.
Okay. There was a small confrontation in which he seemed to let his temper get the better of him, but there were no actual altercations or violence involved. He just really lost his temper. And then your workers reported him just kind of staring off into space for a while. Seemingly transfixed on something. But he's good. He didn't do anything. And they got him back to working after a little bit.
Mental note, set up a separate break room. Got it.
Other than that, he has been feeding, so he's not starving or anything like that. He pops blood bags when needed, but has learned well enough to hide them and the evidence of drinking them. He has a thermos that he brings to work.
Our baby's learning.
He's having a hard time acclimating to actually being awake during the day, but he's good otherwise.
And she'll tell him that if he ever wants to switch to night shift, to just let her know.
Yeah, I'll do whatever is, more convenient for you guys. I don't really care.
You should. This is your life.
It's fine.
Off of stands, hun.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
She'll probably just do the usual cursory check-in with her sister, check in with the rest of the staff, go over the finances, her usual evening routine.
The sister has not caused any more problems or given you any more heart attacks in your unlife. So everything's good there. The financial thing was just someone kind of refusing to pay just because they claimed that you didn't give them what they ordered and they weren't happy with it. The whole 9 yards that typically comes with that sort of business, but they did end up paying in the end. So, everything's good there.
I'd hate to have to deal with that the hard way.
Yes. Basically, the check bounce and Lottie's thing covered it, which is why the financial situation was linked to Lottie's money. So, Rufus.
He will work on taking one dot of hunger out. Will not
Alright.
bring himself back down to one, but at least he'll take one off.
Okay, sitting at 2 then. You pull a member of your flock in, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, any
One of the
specific
ones.
one?
One of the healthier ones, one of the ones that he hasn't fed off in a while. One of the ones that tends to take care of themselves a little bit better.
There's probably a construction worker or something. That's part of that. I think that would be on brand.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So you're down to 2 now. Good. At least you won't be probably having too many complications. So the night goes on for a little bit. You guys each taking care of your own things. And then, Debbie, you receive a text from Mike asking if you and your group can get there. Something big came up and they need to talk to you.
On my way, I'll let the others know.
Roughly around
She'll
then, Rufus, you get a message from Varia saying,
Okay.
I know you know about the tunnels. Tell Boria to let you in here. Something came up.
Give me a little bit and I'll try to be there.
And then another one directly after that. I know you've been doing stuff for the rats. Please come.
He'll just kind of look at that one and leave it on red.
Okay. I'm sorry to cut you off, Debbie. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say she's going to send out a mass text to the group explaining that we need to get to King's ASAP.
Rev would immediately text back. I think they did something to Zamitzi. Or vice versa. Varia just asked me to come over there as well.
Verya. Varia.
Debbie would probably text back in a private text just to Rev. Don't say anything else over text. We can talk when we get there.
Okay. I'll meet you guys there.
William will text Feyla shortly.
Debbie or Rufus, would you have Chris come with you?
I don't think I would for this one.
Okay.
No.
Alrighty then. Who's going where?
William's going to the Nos.
Mm-hmm. Lottie would only know about the Nos. Debbie would only know about the Nos. 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 Rufus, where are you going?
So Rufus would privately tell Debbie, I'll be a little bit late. I'm going to see what the issue with Boria and all of those people are.
She'll send back a thumbs up with a keep me updated. Let me know if we need to bail.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Rufus, we'll get to what you're doing in a few minutes. Maybe more in a few minutes. Debbie, William, and Lottie. Eventually, you all arrive at King's. You get to the bookstore, you make your way down into their dens, pretty much. And there is several other Nas that you pretty much have never seen before there. And they seem to be up in arms. What do you do?
Just approach King and ask what's going on.
There's like 3 or 4 of them there that you just don't recognize. And once you get over to King, he just looks done. He's like visibly getting a little angry as to what's going on right now. Someone was stupid and went off and did something, and now there's a problem, and we don't know where they are. We do know where they are, but we don't know what happened to them.
Alright, so how about we start with the who and the what?
No one you know is...
There's a safety guess probably involves the Zemitzi.
How'd you know about that?
I've got an angry text from one of them.
That's why he's not here. And a couple of the other Nas get verbally a little angry when they hear you talking about the Zemitzi. And Mike is working to calm them down. King will pull you guys aside. We don't need that group rattled or riled up anymore. It's no one you know. Go by the name Ember. They did not listen to us when we told them to leave them alone, and now they got the Nas worked up. They got the Zemitzi worked up.
Did they do something? I mean, probably trespassing, obviously, but past
no one
that?
was there with them. One of the others out there said that they maybe met the final death, aren't quite sure. What do you know about what's going on over there?
Just that Rev's going over there because he was asked to. I asked him to keep me updated.
Heard anything back yet? And before you answer, we'll go to Rufus. So, I think you would get there before the other 3 got to King's. So you get to the shop. And it's closed, which is very unusual. Because usually they pretty much are open 24/7, which is odd for a flower shop, but no one has questioned it in a long time. But they are closed, and there is no one visibly in the front or in the building. The lights are off.
Okay. Rev would just pull his phone out and call Boria at this point.
And he would answer. Pretty immediately.
I'm up front. Can you please let me in? Varia asked me to come by. Apparently there's been an issue.
One of the ghouls will be in the moment. I forgot Varia's voice. That's fine. 5 minutes later, a ghoul that you've seen before comes and unlocks the door and ushers you to the back, through the building, back into the gardens. And then back into Kat's section. And you see many of the Tzimisce over there. And you even see Peter.
Okay.
And you do see Varia.
Okay. He would talk directly to her since she's the one that asked him to come. What happened?
One of those damn rats broke through, and now it's a big mess.
Are they fully dead or not quite?
They're dead.
Wonderful. I assume they weren't very hospitable when they trespassed.
Not at all. Broke into a place that Kat's gonna have a problem with when she comes back. They're lucky she's not here right now.
Yes. And I wouldn't ask you to hide that from her. However, I would ask to give me some time to make things less wrong.
You don't got much time.
Yes, isn't she supposed to be back in the next day or two?
Mm-hmm. Should have been back tonight, but I think they got delayed.
Right. I got a message the other day. I believe I know why. I've been asked to go over to King's as well. So just give me a few minutes. I'll figure out how to make amends in some way, shape, fashion, form. Is anybody here hurt?
Oh no. That NAS got drained. So everything was healed.
Okay. And he'll kind of like go to like Papa's neck and like roll his shoulders a little bit. And was it one of the important ones?
Hell if I know, I don't got much to do with the rats.
Do you think I would know of them?
I mean, you can look at their bones.
I'm not a forensic investigator. I can't do things like that. Here, give me just a second, and he'll pick up the phone and he'll call Debbie.
So, this is a little bit after King asked you if you'd heard from Rufus, and you answered no, not yet. So after you give that answer that you had not heard from him, we need to know what happened, because I'm getting a bunch of different stories here. Some of them say they were provoked. Some of them are saying that the dragons came out from the ground and got them. Like, I don't know what happened. And at that point, your phone rings.
She'll look at it, see that it's Rufus, and she'll say, "Yeah, it looks like Rufus is calling me back. Let me find a quieter corner and I'll let you know what he says." And she'll kind of...
King will point you towards a room.
She'll mosey on that way and answer the phone with a, "What the hell's going on over here?"
Are you alone?
Yes, I'm alone.
Are you
alone
sure?
as one can be in a place full of nos.
Okay, swing your arms around and see if you hit anybody. I know it sounds ridiculous, but please do.
She'll kind of roll her eyes and just kind of wave her arms across the room.
How quick were you in closing the door after you got in the door?
She'd be pretty quick, because she knows how Nos are.
Okay. Shush! You don't hit anyone.
Okay. I didn't hit anyone, so I'm pretty sure I'm as alone as it gets around here.
Okay. Who are they?
No one in particular.
Do you have a name?
Name was Ember. Guess they were like from out of town or something.
Okay, so it's not one of King's specifically. Even though King still technically had dominion over them.
Yeah, but you know how the Nos are.
Yeah, they care more about clan than sector, region, or anything like that, so.
Mm-hmm.
Good news, bad news. I know where they're at. I assume you understand what the bad news is.
How the fuck did this happen? I'm assuming we're gonna get conflicting stories depending on what side we ask.
I would assume as much. The story that I got from somebody that I've been working with for quite a while was they intruded. They were not overly hospitable for being in somebody else's domain and caused, I assume, some injuries. And then they took care of the injuries with the only source that they had readily available.
No. We can't. Oh, fuck. If they hear about this, they're gonna start a war.
Yes,
Shit.
so...
Well, just so you know, the story over here is that the Tzimisce popped out of the ground and started attacking them.
Okay.
So I don't know if they just accidentally got too close while tunneling. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna do my thing for a little bit over here. I will, if I find anything concrete, I will let you know. I do know for a fact that they've been trying to get into the tunnels over here for quite a while.
I'm not surprised. Well, we just about got a riot over here, so as quick as you can, please and thank you.
Right. I'll work on it. And he'll end the call, and for reference, Rufus hasn't moved out of the middle of the Tzimisce.
Varia did walk away from you and is 10-20 feet away, talking quietly to Celia. That was her name.
Okay.
Sorry, Selena.
Yeah.
That's the name I was looking for.
Yeah.
Oops. So yeah, she left you to go speak with that, but Borea is watching you very intently right now.
He would walk over to Borea. Is there any way that I can be allowed into the tunnels?
That is what Varia is asking about right now.
Okay. If allowed, I will give you my word that nothing will be disturbed. I will be as non-invasive as I possibly can be. I just want to see the entry point.
For your sake. Because Kat will be the one you answer to.
Oh, I know. I'm not... I may be what I am, but I'm not stupid. There's certain things that I do not wish to awaken, and that's one of those things.
None of us want to see her mad. And then Varia comes back after a few minutes. And we will get back with you in a moment. Lottie, William, and Debbie. Lottie and William. While Debbie stepped out. You guys were left with the angry handful of Nas and Mike trying to calm them down.
William's going to try and give them a hand to just get them seated and talking somewhat rationally.
Okay. Do you have points in leadership?
No.
Do you, Lottie?
1 point.
Okay. So William, go ahead and roll charisma and persuasion. And let me know how many successes you get.
Four successes.
Okay. Lottie, go ahead and add 4 dice to your charisma and leadership pool.
Okay, that is 2 criticals, so that's 4, and then 2 regular successes, so that's 6.
Okay.
Like in math.
So, between the 3 of you, Lottie, William, and Mike, you all do manage to get the remaining Nosferatu slightly calmed down. It doesn't look like they're going to be charging out the door like they were looking to be doing very, very sudden-like. They're still angry, they're still ready to go, but they are not going to be charging out into the night at this second. And between them all, you do hear a few different stories. You hear that they were attacked, that they were lured down, that they were just trying to figure out what happened. They were just trying to figure out what was killing all the Nas because they didn't believe that it was this mythical creature that 1 or 2 of them heard rumors about. And they know that at least Katarzyna can do things underground, and there was plants found, and there's just a bunch of different stories, and they're all talking over each other. There's no real way of discerning what is actually going on, or what had gone on.
Anything important, Lottie will make a note of in her phone. Not saving it, just like making a note so we can reference back to it.
It's hard to tell what's important because it's rumors.
Yeah, just anything she thinks is important. Underground. Saw people. Blah, blah.
Okay. While Lottie's doing that, were you doing anything, William? Or are you just working on with Mike to calm them, to keep them calm?
We're going to work to keep them calm.
Okay. So Debbie, you get off the phone with Rufus, and you come out to see the Nas slightly calmed down. King is furiously texting and seeming to get more and more frustrated about whatever's going on with the phone. But as you come out, he looks up at you. So?
We need to talk privately. I can't tell you in front of all them.
Back in the room, then. And he'll follow you this time.
No one followed us, did they? I'm not very good at seeing what's invisible.
Well, I can't do that either, but they know better.
Okay. So I'm just gonna rip the bandage off. Ember met the final death. The story is that the Tzimitzi bled them to heal the wounds their Feyla incurred during the quote-unquote attack.
Fuck. Great.
They're saying that Ember broke into the tunnels underneath.
They would say that.
I think Rev said he's gonna try and get in to see what's going on down there, but he was kind of not
What?
particularly detailed in his explanations.
It's not like they're gonna be overly given too many explanations as to what's going on, especially if one of them ate someone. Was it a full-on one? Like, what did you hear?
Like I said, he didn't really give me any details beyond the injured party sucked her dry.
Ember's sire is out there. Not gonna be too happy.
Shit. Oh, man.
At least those three managed to stop him from bolting out the door, although I don't know how much longer that's gonna work.
How long do you think we can keep this quiet?
Not long.
Ah, shit.
Let's go see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, King exits the room. And Debbie, I assume you follow.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of you, plus King and Mike, are now attempting to keep the NOS kind of in line. Is there anything specific that you would like to do, say, work on in the meantime?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Just keeping him calm.
Give me, each of you, just a composure roll to see how well you're able to keep them from tearing, like, getting super angry.
2 successes.
Okay.
Just one.
2 successes and a skull on the blood die.
Okay. So, William, you said you got 2 as well?
Yes.
So that's 5 plus a skull. Keep that in mind. Rufus.
Yes.
Varia comes back up to you. Now I manage to talk to Selena into letting me bring you down there. But you don't see anything that you know you're not supposed to see.
I don't see anything besides the way that they came in and the site where issues happened.
Alright, Selena and Boria are going to keep them all here and stop them from doing whatever they want to do. And as she's talking, she's getting more... Her voice is staying even, but she's obviously getting more worked up, and the modifications she did are snapping open and closed more, a little bit in agitation, as her mouth has been split into thirds.
Right. Just lead me to the entrance. I don't know exactly where that is, and I will be as subjective, whatever the word is, as I can be.
Follow me. And she will lead you deeper into the quasi-hedge mage that has been Katarzyna's private section. And she will lead you to the... It's not quite a tower, but more like... It looked almost like a marbled... I'm blanking on... Like a covered pavilion area. Except part of it is like completely fenced in. And not fenced in, but closed off. And there's a door. And that's where she has a key and opens it. Give me... just a wits and awareness or occult, whichever is better, because I don't think you have medicine.
I do not, however, I will be doing wits and awareness. That is 2 successes.
That's enough. As you get into the door, you realize that this structure isn't stone. It's made of bone. A bleached bone, but it looks to be all a singular structure. It's very, very weird looking. And this is not one you've ever seen this close before.
Okay. He'll make a mental note.
You've never been this deep into Kat's quarters.
Right. He'll make a mental note of that as he proceeds through the doorway, and I assume down.
Yes. So this almost immediately, like an old cemetery. Words tonight are difficult. I'm sorry. I think you know what I'm trying to explain, though. Yeah.
Like a catacomb type idea.
Yes, that word. And it just goes down into the earth. And you can see that the walls, there's no pillars, there's no wood, anything keeping the ground in place. What it is vines are keeping the structure stable. It's not completely covered, but it's dense enough that you see them.
Okay.
And you just go down the stairs.
Is it lit?
Vaguely.
Enough to be able to walk down the stairs
Yes.
safely-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Varia does have red eyes currently, so she can see just fine. But there is small lights strung up down the thing that she turned on when you guys entered.
Okay.
So, and as you descend, it's just kind of a straight shot down. It looks to be... You've been down into the tunnels enough that you kind of guess that this is roughly leading to that kind of depth. So not like crazy deep down, but deep enough that you are definitely underground now. And then the tunnel evens out and is in kind of an atrium area. And there's a couple different ways you can head. And Varia will take you and lead you off to one of the side ones where the vines are still currently going.
Okay.
So you are heading deeper. I'll say it again. You do not see this. You do not know what's here. Cat will have problems if this gets out.
I don't know what you're talking about. We climbed a ladder to get down to the subway tunnels.
Yep. And you enter into a room, and there is a Zemitzi there who is... It definitely looked like they had been in combat recently. They got blood on their clothes. There's parts of the clothing that is ripped. And it's not one you recognize, but it's also one that doesn't look very human.
Okay.
And Varia will point to a spot on the floor. And you see a half-decayed body. So the kindred wasn't probably that old. But still enough to not really be very recognizable.
Okay.
Especially given it was a Nosferatu.
Right.
You do see a spot where it looks like the walls have been, like, broken in. But it does look like someone forced their way into here.
Okay.
And then you also see, kind of onto the other side, a large stone square. It definitely resembles a stone sarcophagus.
Okay. So turning to Varia, I assume the individual over there that may or may not want to talk was the one involved. That is the other party involved. This is the entry point. I'm going to look in there first, just to verify that yes, somebody did bring or come in this way rather than going the other way. Just
you do what you need to do. I'm going to be over there, and she'll point towards the stone coffin. Don't touch that. But do what else you got to do. That, and she'll point at the Zemitzi that you can't tell what gender they are. They've definitely changed themselves with vicissitude and flesh crafting. That is Robert. He was down here doing what each of us have to take turns doing. And then, as he says, the Nos comes through and attacks him. Them.
Okay. And Rev will just kind of nod and start walking over toward the tunnel, or at least the entrance to. He will investigate for any like tool marks, to try to determine like a direction that they're going in. Like obviously, a shovel's pretty easy to figure out which way it's going.
Yeah.
Hold in.
Now it is
fingers and claws. Meh.
It is not very bright down here, so you may have to pull out your light. The light is kept very low and minimal.
He would call out, like, I'm about to turn my light on.
Go ahead.
I don't see as well as most of you.
And
click it on.
Yeah, Robert will move out of the way now.
And he'll click it on and just, like I said, inspect like the entrance.
Okay.
Looking for any tool marks or anything like that.
Intelligence or wits and investigation. I'll let you do either. And then keep your results. We'll get back to you. Back to the other three. So, the skull, because it wasn't a true roll, it was just to see how you guys are keeping your tempers, pretty much. temper and how well you're managing the Nosferatu's temper. Debbie, you don't have a true problem. But your beast is a little riled. You're only at 2 hunger? So it's not...
That's correct.
It's not unmanageable. But you can feel it. And you can feel that it wants to fight. So you guys managed to keep them from leaving. And again, you're getting all sorts of different stories. And then one of them starts getting in King's face almost. Or Mike's face, I'm sorry. About where is Ember? She was supposed to be back. And Mike talks to her and everything. And then King will pull that particular Nosferatu to another room. And they stay back there. And King does not come back out. And then the Nosferatu start to get a little riled up again. And one of them goes to storm out the door.
William's gonna try to block his way and say, just relax, we're trying to take care of this.
What, are you going to stop us from leaving now too? Can't defend ourselves? Can't take care of the issues we're having? You going to stop us and keep us here?
Debbie's gonna walk over now, put a hand on his shoulder, and say, "Sit down." And she's gonna try and intimidate him into sitting back down.
Okay. Charisma or manipulation and intimidation.
Four successes.
You won.
The beast is happy.
So you do manage to force them to sit down, and they look a little cowed. But they're still kind of mouthing off like, this is pretty much it. Almost all the Nos here are gone. This is the rest of us. What are we supposed to do if we keep getting killed?
Debbie's just gonna let them talk.
And
She
they
doesn't care if they're mouthing off as long as they don't try to leave or get up in Mike's face.
Mike will give you a nod of thanks. So that is one of the 4 or 5 that are still here. One other being gone with King. There's 3 of them left. And they are still quite not happy. But after Debbie's display, none of them are making overt motions of leaving. Do you guys do anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to Rufus. What was your 2? Okay. So it takes you a minute and you actually step out into the other spot. And it's tight. Like someone had to have dug their way into here, but it's also not a very long tunnel because it does quickly open out into the sewers. And there is the concrete that did cover it has been broken apart.
Okay.
There's no tools or anything. There do look to be like gouge marks. But with the crumbled concrete, it's hard to tell what direction that was broken in from.
Right.
But the dirt is spilling out into it.
Okay. He'll take a minute to kind of act like he knows what he's doing. Before heading back in. Still on the way back in, looking for any obvious signs of like they were digging this way specifically.
I'm sorry, one more time?
As he heads back in, he'd still look for any signs of it's obvious they were digging this way.
There is not too much spilled dirt into the room that the Tzimisce have. There is some, but less than from... So there was the concrete that was broken outwards, and the dirt is spilling out that way, and there's less in the room that the Tzimisce have.
Somebody was extracting the dirt and throwing it behind them.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's what Rev will go with, because that's what I'm going with.
Hard to tell
and then
with 2 successes.
Yeah, and once he gets into the room, thinks that's a little bit odd that there's not that much dirt going in, given how he knows how walls work. But he will talk to Robert.
I did forget to say the plants that we're holding up have been cut through, but only like kind of down the middle to where they parted. There's still a lot of packed earth around them and everything. But that's partially what's keeping the dirt back.
Okay. So he would approach Robert. At this point, he would probably click his pen light off and just use the ambient lighting.
Okay.
It's like, are you better now?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you weren't still peckish. I would assume not, but we have to make sure. Can you walk me through your side of the events? Seeing as you're really the only person that in this particular situation I can say witnessed.
I was making our rounds like we are supposed to do, and I heard them coming into the room. I came in, they got angry and attacked, and I responded.
Can you tell me what they looked like? Because obviously there's just one in there, but...
Like a Nosferatu. Ugly.
Right. Any specific deformities or deformations or missing face, ears, whatever parts?
They had no hair. Their ears looked withered, shrunken.
Okay, no hair, shrunken ears. Any other things that might make them stand out specifically?
I didn't really look while they were trying to attack me.
I understand that. I just have to ask. Do you know how many there were?
I only saw this one, and I didn't go into the tunnel to look for more.
Okay. Are you mostly intact again, or do you still have lasting injuries?
Oh no. I'm fine.
Okay. I would expect as much, seeing as you and your clan tend to be a little bit more visceral when things happen.
He'll just give you a bland smile, which is odd because it doesn't. His lips don't form lips necessarily. It's just kind of like lines, so it looks really off-putting.
Yeah, I assume everybody that I've talked to tonight looks off-putting as all get out. Okay. And he'll kind of look around a little bit more. Not necessarily for anything in particular, but definitely for things that he possibly could have missed. Other trinkets, mementos, whatever it is.
All right. So you can use intelligence or wits and investigation or awareness.
That'll be wits and awareness.
Okay. Just giving options.
I am spending a willpower to re-roll a couple of my dice. Alright, I got 3 successes.
Okay. So there really isn't much to find down here. There isn't any furniture, there's no jars, there's nothing really in the room. You do notice a name carved on the rock, the lid of the stone, and that is Tomira.
Okay.
But nothing else identifying other than that. On the Nosferatu, you don't really find too much. There is a greasy, disgusting wallet that survived, and I use that term lightly. And there are credit cards in it, but they're all with different names.
Okay. He would not mess around with the wallet too much. He'd put that back, and he'd turn to Varia at this point and be like, I don't think that I've got to be down here for too much longer. If you want to start walking back.
Uh-huh.
There's not a whole lot to see.
Right. And why don't you want me to escort you like I'm supposed to?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying is, if you want to start walking back, as in if you want to
can
start heading back.
walking.
Right, and he just kind of starts walking with her.
Okay. She'll make sure you were in front of her after that odd back and forth.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe it was just me, but it sounded like you were trying to get her to leave you alone in the room.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's how she took that.
That's fair. How long of a walk is it between that chamber and the stairs?
Not super long. Couple minutes.
Okay. So, after probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes, far enough to be away from Robert, he's just kind of be like, this is just something purely from my curiosity. Is Tamira one of you?
Wish you hadn't asked, and I wish you hadn't saw that. Tamira is Katarzyna's last child.
The one that could do...
No.
Okay.
Torpor.
Ah.
Voluntary.
Please keep that one as sealed tightly as you possibly can.
Yes. That is why this is such a big deal.
Right. When I get out of here, I will be heading over to King's to talk with people.
And what are you going to tell them? And she'll stop now, like halfway up the stairs.
I am simply going to ask them what they saw. I would ask if you wanted to come with me, however, I don't believe that you would be the best person to bring. One of your clan maybe wouldn't be the worst. As long as they're not very well known. I don't want further issues.
Who do you want?
I would say Borea, but everybody knows who that is, so no.
Of course.
Take
Anita. She's
okay.
One of the youngest.
More likely to fly under the radar, as it were.
She's got maybe a year and a half under her belt.
Okay. We can make this work, and I will make sure that she is delivered back to you.
Still surviving in the undeath, ideally.
Yes, one way or another. I cannot absolutely guarantee that we'll be unharmed, however, surviving. I will, however, do everything in my power to make sure that happens.
Let me talk to Selena. And then Varia will lead you up and out. And then she'll talk to Selena. Are you trying to join in on that conversation?
He would want to be privy to it, but wouldn't put his 2 cents in unless asked.
Okay. No, Selena does kind of turn and give you a look, and then she'll go back to talking to Varia. Basically, Varia's pleading your case that Kat has had you over multiple times, and you are mostly welcomed here and are able to visit the church whenever you want without letting anyone know that you're here. And after a minute or two, Selena will reluctantly nod and then call over Anita. And then Anita will have explained to her that she's going to go with you to attempt to appease the Nosferatu. And Varia will come back to you. Alright. So it's been okayed. Do you want what's left of the body?
That probably wouldn't hurt. If we can make it in as fluid-proof container as we possibly could, that'd be great.
Give me a couple minutes. And then she will go off. And Selena will go with her. The Zemitzi have mostly calmed down now, but they are still aggravated, but they've kind of spread out. All of them are still present, but they are kind of off talking amongst themselves.
Okay.
So they'll come back. It's in a heavy bag, almost like a duffel bag.
I mean,
it is handed to you, and Anita will follow you.
Okay.
And then we will get back to your drive in a little bit. Or, is there anything specific you would like to talk to her about during the drive?
He would ask if she's ever been down there.
I have. I mean, we all have to go down there and do our duty watching it. Sure, you saw it.
I have. Officially, I haven't, but...
Right. Same with all of us.
Right. I was just curious if you knew the layout down there and what everything's supposed to look like.
I mean, no broken walls.
Obviously. But just, like I said, just as a, make sure that you understood the issues. It's more so than anything.
Yeah, we, most of us got shown and explained as to what happened in order to prevent them from getting all up in arms. Mostly to appease tempers.
Right. So let's get you in, get you out, get you back home properly.
Yeah, I'm not really comfortable walking into this. I don't want to, but Selena
Just
told
stay
me I
behind
have
me.
to, so here I am.
Just stay behind me, and if anybody asks, you're just a third party. Because if they ask, they don't know.
Right. Let's see how this goes. Back to you three. Would you like to have done anything? Talked to anyone? Poked around anywhere?
Nah, Debbie's just keeping everyone seated.
Since Debbie has that under control, Lottie will just like aimlessly wander around the room, see if there's anything to see.
There are computers. There's several computers set up. All of them are currently, they look to be off. The screens are not on, at least. Without further poking, you can't tell if the computers themselves are on or not. But there is multiple of them. You do see the familiar laptop that you guys found from the hunters. It is closed, but it is out there and plugged in. There is paperwork scattered around, and there are obviously many books. And there's what looks to be kind of like a logbook. Given your background and everything, this is kind of a handwritten records of sales. You are very familiar with that work.
Very familiar. Being the hunter's laptop, I'm not really expecting a response, but Lottie will just be like, so did you guys find anything interesting off of this one? I'll point to it.
To King? Or, I'm sorry, not to King, to Mike.
Whoever's out there.
All of the Nosferatu turn and look at you. Because you didn't specify anyone. Michael, hurry over and kind of like shoo the rest of them away, but they're all staring at you right now. Hoping to keep this a little bit on the down low. It was their
just curious
how to hunt, basically.
Oh, that's delightful.
Some of my clan that disappeared's names were on there with observations on their habits. So they were tracking some of them, but not all of them.
Okay. Not comforting. Thanks for letting me know. I was just curious, like I said.
Yeah. We were trying to keep that kind of on the down low, too.
Sorry. I wanted to look through it whenever we first found it, but we decided to bring it to you guys, so I just wanted to know what was on it.
Yeah, it's their how to hunt. They were probably newer.
Mm-hmm. Right, well, sorry for causing issues.
Gets their mind off of whatever's going on right now.
This is true.
With Mike pulled away, they start getting a little restless again. William, are you still in front of the door?
Yes.
Okay. Another one approaches you. Not spitting angry like the last one. But... man, I gotta get out of here. You gotta let me get out. I don't like this only sitting here.
You don't mind waiting until Rev gets here, do you?
I need to get out. I need to not be in here. Come on, there's too many people. Let me out.
William will let him out, but he'll follow. I'm sure he doesn't go too far.
Okay.
As William is walking out the door, Debbie is going to snarl at him. Where do you think you're going?
The minute the door opens, that Nosferatu is out and obfuscating.
William try to grab for him? So can William try to grab for him?
You can try. Dexterity and athletics. Or brawl.
I'm going to spend a willpower. Two successes.
You feel the brush of cloth, and then it slips from your hand. They rolled a 3. So that one is gone.
As soon as he's out the door, Debbie's on the phone to Rev.
Rev, you do not receive a call because you are underground currently. Debbie, it goes to voicemail.
She will leave a voicemail saying we had an escapee, watch your back.
So you would have checked that, I assume, when Varia and Selena were talking.
Yes.
So you can give your response if you wish. But it won't come right away, Debbie. So seeing as one of them got out, another Nosferatu tries to make for the door.
Rapid reflexes, Debbie goes to grab them.
Okay. Make your roll.
I've never done rapid reflexes before. Shoot, what did I need to roll for that?
It's just roll your dex and athletics or brawl. You're just going quickly is how I'm playing this one.
Alright, dex and brawl it is.
And then is rapid reflexes a rouse check?
No.
No.
Okay. That part I couldn't remember.
I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll that.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 5 successes.
Okay. So they get halfway through the door and you just grab the back, like the back of their neck pretty much. To stop them.
I said, sit down.
I was just gonna go get my friend, you know.
Yeah, you were, and you weren't gonna bring him back here now, were you?
I mean, eventually, yes, that was the plan.
Uh-huh. We don't need any more people pulling stupid shit tonight. Sit down. And she's just gonna, like, frog march them back to a seat.
Okay. So, some time passes as you guys just stare down the rest of the Nosferatu. And then, Rufus, you would get the message, and what would your response be?
In text message, what did they look like? Specifically. And yes, that would have been a double text.
Debbie will shoot back what she can remember of them.
Okay. Just ugly Nos. This one had, like, kind of scarring up this cheek and into the head.
Okay, I don't need that one anyway.
Nothing else back? Okay, that's the only response you get, Debbie. Rufus, you would be driving kind of around this point. King still has not left the other room. But between the rest of you, you keep the rest of the Nosferatu there as Rufus...
What, are we down to 2 now?
Yeah. All 2 of them. It's the final countdown of the Nos. So Rufus, you do eventually make it there. And you, as you get down there, there is like a cracked door because no one is going near that again, with Debbie and William standing pretty much right there.
Okay.
Talks amongst yourselves for a moment. I will be back in a second.
You are lucky that that wasn't the disformed ears one. If there is a disformed ears one.
Besides the one that just got sucked dry.
Yeah. Normally, from what I remember, Nosferatu pass on the deformity from sire to child, or so. At least to a certain degree. So I would assume that would be that whole thing. It's going to be fun. You're actually going to possibly see Rev angry.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
But yeah, he also has the Zamiti with him too. You don't know about that yet, though. So this is gonna suck for.
This is gonna be terrible because Debbie's already pissed.
So you've established that the Nosferatu that escaped was not the one, probably, who sired Ember.
Yes.
Anita is just kind of trailing behind you, Rufus.
Yep. Duffel bag over her shoulder.
Yep.
We'll walk in.
So you, as long as Debbie and William don't bar your way, you can enter the room without any issue. And several
Debbie
sets of
will-
eyes turn to you immediately.
Yeah, Debbie's definitely gonna give you and the lady behind you a look.
And William's going to make sure the doors close as soon as they're in.
Make sure it's well barred so nobody can escape, please.
Don't trust him with that. He's the one that let him loose in the first place. And she's just glaring daggers at Willie.
He's just going to put the finger in her face.
She will bite it if it gets close.
Actually, you want to know something? Dear, and he'll turn to Anita. Would you just stand by the door and make sure nobody leaves?
Gladly.
By the way, it was close to her face.
Debbie will bite it.
Ow.
And she will activate feral weapons to do so and grow fangs and bite William.
You both have rapid reflexes, so you're moving at the same speed.
I do need to do a rouse check for feral weapons, though.
Yes, you do.
So let me take care of that real quick.
Dex and athletics to try to escape, and then strength or dex and brawl.
I
Plus
passed
2
my-
static.
Okay. I passed my thing.
Okay.
And you said that was...
If you guys are
Strength and
legitimately trying to fight this out, I'll have you roll.
She's gonna bite him.
Okay, then
That's
strength
7
and brawl.
round.
And then for you it was dex and athletics, and you got a 1?
7 and a 1.
7 and a 1. Oh, you're rolling like
He's
regular
rolling
dice.
dice.
tens.
I don't remember what the numbers mean. I'm not gonna lie.
1 success, 1 failure.
Okay. So
I
1
got 3
success.
successes. 3
She-
successes.
She ledges on to your hand/finger. And you just feel punctures.
Rufus, at this point, will just kind of stare at him. Let him go, please.
She'll snarl at Rev, but she'll let him go.
And as you do that, he's just gonna drop the duffel bag. Where's King?
keeping
Back room.
Ember's sire calm in the other room.
Oh, good. Bring him out here, please. Mike.
Michael just kind of turn up his hands and go get King out of the back room. Takes a minute. You hear like a loud thump noise, but King walks out, looking a little ruffled.
Do you know which ones were down there? Beside this one, and he just kind of like points at the duffel bag.
Great. So we got a body.
Yes, figured that was the least we could do in this particular situation.
I don't have that many more rooms down here. And then he'll take you off into another room. Yeah, Rufus. Leaving Debbie and Anita.
Debbie, take care of her, please. Make sure nobody harms her.
Sure thing.
The two
she's
other
just gonna
Nosferatu
grin
in the
with
room
long
have
teeth.
not taken their eyes off her. So, we'll go back to you three again in a minute. King and Rufus. No, King leads you into a room. Alright. I didn't know any of them were going over there. We have been trying to keep tabs on them to stop that.
Right, you and Mike, I believe, wholeheartedly.
Yeah. You think
Everyone
I want
else?
problems with Cat? Absolutely not.
Right. Now, there is a reason why they're so up in arms. There is a very good reason it directly deals with Kat herself. I cannot tell you exactly what it is, but you don't want to know.
I really kind of do, but I also know that I can't.
Yeah, that secret stays buried. Both literally and figuratively.
So they picked a really bad spot to get into.
Yes. I don't believe it
Great.
was... I don't believe it was Kat's personal quarters. However, I can guarantee that it's important.
Okay. And they... Did he straight up Diablerize them? Did he just kill them? I guess it doesn't really matter.
To the best of my knowledge, he did Diablerize. For the simple fact of when I asked if he was peckish, said no. So I would assume...
Great.
Right, which is obviously less than ideal, however. They're saying that Ember attacked them first. I'm about as inclined to believe them as... Well, one can throw a boulder.
For as much of they have been acting out and wanting to get answers, I fully believe that that's what they did.
Right, but given the sensitive area, it did look like there was a fight. I will tell you that much. It did look like Ember did, at the very least, defend herself if she was not the aggressor. I'm sure that they were specifically given orders of anybody that enters that area is to be eliminated unless if they are allowed in. So it's a very gray area. cat will want answers, will want something done. I will promise you that.
Then I gotta figure something out then, don't I? We'll be lucky if she doesn't just kill us all.
Or is there one here that has disformed ears out of curiosity?
Yeah, Mike's got him in the other room. Ember's sire.
Okay. Is he still awake?
Yeah. There was a bit of a fight to keep him from leaving, but yeah.
Okay. Would you mind if I talked to him? You can be present. I don't care.
All right.
Actually, it would probably do well for everybody to be present.
Everyone.
Yes, this is one of those very few situations where direct course of action is probably the best. Showing people that you don't mess with powers that are beyond your own.
And what are you planning on doing?
Getting as much information out of him as physically possible. I'm not going to hurt him.
At this point, I don't know if I really care. They have caused so many problems. Let me get Mike. He'll open the door and step out and step back into the other room, but leave the door ajar. Like the room you're in, the door is open, so you can do whatever you want. But the other one is slightly ajar.
Yeah, he'd go back out to the main area.
So, you three, what would you like to have done in the couple of minutes that Rufus was with King? Anita is leaned up against the door. She is actually recognizable to you guys. She was one of the people who were one of the Zamitzi that hunted down the hunters. I believe Lottie spoke with her?
I believe I did.
Also, Anne's going to be telling Debbie if she thinks that's going to keep him from doing that again, she better think again.
Debbie will just grin. That just means I get another bite, sugar.
Bloody fangs and all.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You'll learn one way or another.
Why don't we just chuckle at that?
Man, I thought my clan was messed up.
We're all messed up. We're monsters. What are you talking about?
I mean, obviously. I just want to not be here.
We'll have you back as soon as we can.
None of the other Nosferatu have made a move. Debbie has certainly cowed them into listening to her. But they don't appear happy. And Anita is like pressed back against the door. And then Rufus, that's what... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at some point over that time, Debbie will have made it a point to, like, seat herself between the Nos and Anita.
Okay. Then, Rufus, that's what you walk out to.
Oh, good, we're friends again. Then he'll walk over to the duffel bag and start unzipping it and getting Ember out.
Immediately, one of the Noths are like at the bag. The hell they do to her?
You're lucky they didn't do it to you too. Now sit down.
Go back and sit down. Another couple of minutes pass. Before King and Mike will have both of his hands on the sire's shoulders. Like moving him where he wants them.
Mike, it's quite alright. You can let him go. Now you, look at me. Sit.
For sure. The Nosferatu will look at you, but will not move.
And he'll, like, sit down. And he'll actually use compel.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make that. It is... What versus what?
It is charisma and dominate versus wits and resolve.
Okay. So many rolls tonight.
I am spending a willpower.
You said wits and resolve?
Yes. Alright, that's better. I got 4 successes.
You won. So, the sire will do what you said and go sit down.
Were you with her when this happened?
I knew where she was going. Didn't know I wasn't with her.
Who was with her?
No one that I know of.
It would be unwise for you to lie to me now. Are you sure of that answer?
I didn't know if anyone was with her or not.
Do any of you, and he'll kind of avert his gaze slightly to the others in the room.
One of them will shake their head. The other ones, I think she had a ghoul. Animal or something? I don't know what kind.
An animal, that doesn't help us. Was there another Nosferatu with her?
Bells kind of shrug.
And he will actually insight that.
Go ahead.
And I got 2 successes with a skull.
You don't think they're lying to you.
Okay. Did Mike and King tell you to not invade on their areas?
Yeah, but King ain't the boss of us.
No, if he's not the boss of you, then dispatching you, he won't care about.
He's been telling us this whole time he doesn't want to deal with us. Hinting at it.
Okay, so who is the boss of you?
He's dead.
Oh, you mean Bryce, the one
Yeah.
that got found by hunters and killed because he, not necessarily saying, was careless, but
Yep. Haven't had to listen to anyone since. Not really.
well, that changes tonight.
What, you gonna make us listen to you?
If I have to. It's either going to be me or one of your own. And King, I'm sorry, but you're probably the most level-headed of Nosferatu that I know. So you'd probably be the best fit.
Yeah, coming to realize that.
So the options are: we take you to Kat when she comes back, either tomorrow or the following evening, and she can deal with you as she sees fit. Or you start listening to King, and I try to make some sort of deal where this doesn't come back on you. Because I will sell all three of you out, including your friend that ran off.
Roll intimidation and charisma or manipulation just to see how well your point gets across.
I like
I'm
that
not-
pool.
Yeah, I figured you would. While he's rolling, are the three of you doing anything?
Debbie's still keeping an eye on the others to make sure they don't get too close to Anita while everyone else is distracted.
No one has moved yet.
Is Rufus sitting on a couch or something?
No, he's just standing in the middle of the room.
Okay. In that case, Lottie will stand not directly behind him, but behind him like 5-ish, 10 feet. Hands behind her back. Kind of glaring at the idiots.
Well, I'm still just chilling. Still over by the door.
I got 5 total successes.
Okay, so the two that are sitting are looking pretty cowed right now. With everything that they've been through in the past probably roughly 1 to 2 hours. They are pretty shaken and don't really look like they're gonna go against anything anyone is saying right now. So you think they'll listen. You're pretty positive those two are gonna be listening. The sire doesn't look very happy. Who would? He's not making any motions to do anything. And your awareness is pretty decent, right?
I've got 2 dots.
You think your point is being driven home?
Now, I need a verbal confirmation that you will be listening to King from here on out. What he says is the gospel. Because you don't want this gospel to come after you.
King will come up beside the Nosferatu. And prick his finger. I'll do you one better. And I'll basically shove his finger into the other guy's mouth. and he will force the start of a bond right there.
Rufus will just kind of smile a little bit, and it's like, you're lucky that they were willing to give you back Ember. At first, they didn't necessarily want to.
The guy will just kind of glare at you before, like, pulling King's hand out of his mouth. The hell are they gonna do with it? It's just a body now.
I'm sure they know a couple Tremere or a couple Banu Hakim that can probably do something with it. Not necessarily one to say exactly, but at least you can have some closure as to exactly what happened.
Yeah, fine. Can I go do it? Can I go take care of it?
You can do whatever you want with her. I would highly suggest none of you ever go back down there within a mile.
The Nos will kind of like generate some, bodily fluids and spit on the ground. I ain't gonna be here much longer. Don't worry.
Oh, that's fine.
Hey, Red,
And-
what do you want to do about the one that missed your little sermon?
We'll find them. They'll know better. Or, if they're friends here, find them beforehand. Tell them to leave the city and never come back, because I promise you, I'm done with tonight.
The one that told you guys about the ghoul was like, yep, already on it. He's texting.
Also, I need a fairly detailed description of them, preferably on paper rather than electronic, something that I can destroy later.
The other one's been pretty quiet the whole time, but hasn't really said anything against what you've commanded, pretty much. You got a pencil and paper, I can draw it.
And he'll actually reach inside of his jacket and pull out his notebook and his pen. I hope a pen works. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's better than nothing. And he'll flip to the dead center of the book, and there's nothing on it. And just lay it down, like, don't go off that page.
After about half an hour to an hour of just waiting for this guy, you get a pretty accurate representation of a messed up Nosferatu. Male structure, it looks like very pretty masculine face, but a gnarled scar up the face and onto the head. Lips are kind of pulled back, very, very Nosferatu looking.
Okay. And he'll just kind of close his book up and put it back away. Thank you. Now, if King is done with you, I am done with you.
Oh, they all know everything I have to say already.
Do you three have anything to say? And he turns to Debbie, Lottie, and William.
Debbie's just gonna smile and shrug.
Lottie's still standing there, arms behind her back, and shaking her head.
William has his arms crossings glaring at him.
Glaring at Rufus?
No, the mouse.
Ah. Remind me not to piss you off, Rufus. Selena will murmur quietly.
Oh, doesn't happen very often, but yes. And kind of smiles at her. Now, Mike, if you have anything, and if you have anything as well.
Mike will shake his head. Oh no, but we'll definitely be paying a visit to them. To make sure they're listening.
That's fair. I believe I will probably be in touch with at least one of them. And he stares at the sire.
The sire,
just to make sure that,
at this point, is packing up the bag.
just to make sure that they're following directions.
We'll glare at you, but not say anything.
And with that, do you think that will suffice at least for the next 24 hours until other parties get home?
Ooh, I'm guessing that she's gonna want to meet with you, King. Celine, Anita will look at King, who nods. But I don't know what other choice we have. Barring, taking care of everyone.
Right. Which at least 2 of these, I believe, should be spared from that, but leaving them alone in this city is probably not the best idea.
It has... I wouldn't call it a fondness. But doesn't mind the Nosferatu. Don't make that change. And she'll look at the rest of them.
Now, I believe I have somebody to take home. Don't make me come back here tonight. And he's gonna start toward the door.
Anita is close on your heels. Are you 3 following?
I don't see why not.
King and Mike have turned back to the remaining Nosferatu and seem to be attempting to take care of business.
What can you handle these people?
Debbie will hang around for a little bit just to make sure the other 2 leave first. Then she'll check in with Mike and King, see if there's anything they need from her before she heads out.
Just keep an eye out for that other one. Name was Tweak.
Well,
Bet you can guess how he got his name.
I have a few guesses.
Just keep an eye out. We'll be following up, but...
Got it. And then satisfied that they have their business in hand, she will make her exit last.
Okay. Do you immediately drive off, Rufus, or do you wait?
You wait a little bit just to see if everybody comes along.
Yep. Lottie and William come, and then a couple minutes later, Debbie does as well.
In the meantime, waiting for Debbie to come back or to come out, he would be using Sense the Unseen to see if anybody's around. See if they're that stupid.
No, you don't pick up anyone.
Okay. Once everybody's in the van and we're driving down the road, you'll kind of open the partition to the back and be like, apologies for that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Agreed. Then us were being kind of, I don't want to say stupid, but
No, they're being stupid.
okay, we'll go with that then.
Speaking of being stupid, and she's gonna round on William. What the fuck were you thinking letting him out? You knew he'd bolt.
Thought I'd be able to grab one before you keep an eye on him and grab one if you tried to.
Yeah, and look how well that went.
Yeah. Definitely not a good judgment call on my part.
Yeah, you seem to be in the habit of those. And just so you know, sweetheart, last man that stuck his hand in my face, he didn't have a chance to do it a second time.
I'll just smile at Debbie.
You do realize you're not a Ravnos like I am, right?
Yeah, I know.
So taking risks is more my neck of the woods rather than yours. Even I know that's stupid.
Well, being stupid is how I got in this position anyway.
Wouldn't necessarily say that. Probably wrong place, wrong time for the wrong scene. But either way, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you're here now, and I'm going to officially tell you this much, and this goes for all of you. If you need something, do not hesitate to call me. I'm still rather slow on the text messages, so call's gonna be faster, but if you need something, let me know.
Oh, before you head off, Nas's name was, street name was Tweak.
I doubt that my contacts will be able to find them. And if they do, I would rather them not, so.
You have not dropped Selena off at this point, correct? I'm not Selena. I keep
Right.
saying that. Anita. So Anita will respond. Yeah, you don't want us finding him. Just saying.
Yeah.
Not first.
So I would implore you three to work your side to try to find them. I'll be out and about.
Sure thing.
Looks like we're getting close to my stop. Katarzyna will be back tomorrow. With someone?
Yes, a
A
very
guest?
important person. Yes, a very
Ooh.
important person.
Important how?
Not allowed to say, but a very important guest that tonight will look like nothing if something happens here or to them during their stay. So I
Respect.
really think you need to find that Tweak and make sure he isn't going to be as stupid as Ember was.
Yes. especially since I've already done work for this very important person, and they have a very important package for me as well. Or I believe the other one that went with them might have it. I'm not sure. So, Anita, you have a good night, and he'll pull up. Let them know at the very least, short term, it has been handled. We can deal with it at a later date when Kat finally actually gets back.
I plan on it. I'm gonna have a long talk with Selena as soon as I get back. She's
as I would expect.
De facto leader currently. Get home before the sun rises. Don't have much time left.
Oh, I'm already home.
Well, I'm sure you've been told, but you can probably stay in the domain tonight if you want.
I would expect as much. Given my relative freedom. Anyway, you three, let's work on you.
So, you drop Selena off. She leaves. You can see Selena and Borea waiting for her at the store's entrance. And quickly pull her into the store and out of your line of sight. And then you continue on, I'm assuming.
Yes. Do you three have any contacts that can find a Nosferatu?
Not off the top of my head, but I could ask Chris if he's made any friends in the underground.
Also, no.
Yeah, Chris is probably the only person who would be close enough.
Okay. And at this point, he'll pull out his phone and actually call Chris.
It rings for a minute before you get a very sleepy. Yeah?
Where are you staying?
Oh, I'm still at Williams because I don't have a place.
Okay. I have something for you to do.
Alright, tell me what it is.
Need you to find a Nosferatu, which is not going to be easy.
Tell him I'll consider this paid time off. Debbie calls from the back seat.
Was that Debbie?
Yes.
Oh, good. I was gonna call her.
This will be considered paid time off. I need you to find... Actually, I will show you the picture and hand you the piece of paper. I need you to find this particular Nosferatu. Or find somebody that can find them within, I would say, 36 hours.
I'll do my best. Can I tell anyone what I'm doing?
Just say that Mike is looking for them.
Okay. You gonna be mad if I can't do it in 32 hours?
36.
36 hours?
I would appreciate if you can get it done in that amount of time. If you can't, not the biggest deal. Nosferatu are notorious for being good at hiding.
Alright, just send me the picture and I'll do what I can.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
Alright,
and
I'll be
actually-
awake then, I promise.
No, get the sleep that you need, and when I get there, I'll wake you up again.
Alright.
And at this point, he would go straight to William's apartment.
Okay. William, do you let everyone in?
Well, I don't have any blood bags if any of you are thirsty. I prefer fresh, but you guys can come out.
I don't need refreshments, thanks.
I'm fine.
It's my Lent.
Alright.
So you guys walk up and see Chris pretty much asleep, sitting up on the couch, like obviously waiting for you. Like his phone is still in his hand.
Rufus would sit down next to him, pull out the book, and lay it on the table before waking him up.
What? Oh, you're back already.
Yes, I do apologize.
No, it's fine. Is this the... Ew, God, he's so ugly.
Yes, that's what a Nosferatu usually... It's the issue with them.
I've never seen one before.
They usually try to stay hidden.
I can see why.
So I need you to do your best to find this particular person. I would tell you to go to Charlotte and see if she knows anybody that can find them.
I think Deidre mentioned she knew a couple others like me. Maybe they know something.
Okay, if you can get a hold of her and see if they know somebody that knows this one.
Do you need me right now? Do you need anything else? I'll go right now.
Once you have a good location, just let me know. I'll pay him a visit soon.
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I know anything.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I know we're on a little bit of a time crunch here, but maybe you should get some proper sleep first before you get behind the wheel of a vehicle.
That's fine. I'm just gonna walk there.
You're gonna fall asleep on the sidewalk.
I'll be fine.
I can drive you there, it's fine.
See? I'll be fine. No problems.
Just as long as you don't cause any crashes on the way over. So I don't have your insurance lined up yet.
I can get insurance still? I thought I had to stop all of that.
It would be futile. If you got insurance, you can heal somewhat like us.
That's what I thought.
I was making a joke. I was making a joke. It's okay. You really should go back to sleep.
I just don't know much about us. You? Vampires? I'm still
Kindred.
learning.
Yeah, as much as they like to say that you kind of need to know stuff, it's very much a learn as you go thing, so just...
That's kind of what I figured. I'm doing my best here.
And you're doing exceedingly well for somebody that literally was thrown in with no prior knowledge. So.
I mean, you've helped me a lot, so, you know.
Yes, at least you didn't ask me what's a Nosferatu, so, like you did the first time.
I mean, I kind of thought they might be a little bit different than the old movie, but not really.
No. That's why I showed you that one clip on the thing. And I told you they look a lot like this.
Apparently. But yeah, we should go get Deidre because it's kind of late. Early.
Yes, you three, I'm going to take care of him, make sure he gets there safely. When we get there, I'm going to climb in the back and then go at your own pace. Do not crash the van.
Okay.
If you get tired, go to sleep.
Okay.
You three have a good morning.
You too, Rev.
You as well.
And he'll walk down with Chris and take him over to Deidre.
Yeah.
And do as he said.
She also mentioned that William's apartment is very retro. It looks like it's from the 70s, with the exception of the 2 paintings he stole from the hunter's house.
Those are in the bedroom, it's fine. So you can wake up each night and stare at them.
Debbie, do you want my driver to drive you home as well?
I'd appreciate it.
Sure thing. So Lottie will call her car around, and her and Debbie will go home.
All right. So, order of operations here, William. You are already home. Is there anything you would like to do before your day sleep?
Maybe just chill and relax, just take a load off, and we'll just deal with the superficial damage next session.
Okay. You've not been alone in your haven for a couple weeks now. It's nice. So you spend the time gathering your thoughts before you reach your day sleep. Debbie, you get dropped off. As per normal, your sister gives you a rundown of kind of what happened. Nothing really happened overnight, except they were all a little surprised when Chris called and said that he wouldn't be there for a while. But then told them to talk to you about it, which they do. So, nothing out of the normal there. Mm-hmm. Anything else you would like to do?
She hasn't checked on the cat in a while, so she's going to go around to the... Before she settles in, she's going to go around to the back of the store and call over the tomcat that hangs out in the alleyway that she has bonded as her ghoul, and just give him enough to maintain the bond.
Okay. He is happy to receive it.
And she'll spend a minute or two petting him before she heads back inside to sleep.
Okay. Now you do not have feral whispers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Not yet.
Okay. So, Lottie, you return home. Everything seems to be normal. Your dog's waiting for you, happily greeting you when you get home. Nothing from your sister, other than you did receive a confirmation text when she arrived, but that was the previous day. So you haven't heard anything else from her. So everything seems to be fine.
She'll just send Willow a text, just letting her know things are messy right now.
You almost
That's
immediately... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
You almost
Not going
immediately
into
receive
detail.
one back saying, "Messy how?"
We'll see whenever you get back.
Aw, you can't tell me over text?
No, with all the details.
Can't wait to get back then. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So you drift off to your day sleep. Rufus, sorry for leaving you for last again.
It's fine.
You make your way to Charlotte's, and you let Chris out. Do you go in? Do you do anything? What do you do?
No, he would just climb in the back and get ready for day sleep.
Okay. So, a little while just as you're drifting off, like you feel your consciousness slipping away, and you hear the front door close. And that's all you are aware of.
Okay.
So, it was quite the night for you guys. With the closing of Chapter 1, you each get 3 experience instead of 2. You've slightly averted a war between sects and clans. You have some leads, and you have some things to follow up on. I'd say you did good this game.
Only one of us got hurt.
Only one of you got hurt. So, that is the end of the game, and now we have announcements. The website is slightly lagging behind, but that's because I needed a small mental break, but I'll be good soon, and everything will be going back to normal, and updates will be regular again. Join us the upcoming Thursday for Nicole's Cryptid Catchers. We are very much looking forward to our modified Hunter the Reckoning game, in which we are bringing some Call of Cthulhu elements into it, which I'm sure everyone will be very excited to see. We are very excited to play it. Dengle will be the storyteller for that one. And like our normal updates, it'll be uploaded to YouTube and our website and everything the day before the next game. So if you can't catch us at our normal stream, check out our website. Like I said, it'll be up to date soon. The Dice Legion link will take you to get some percentage off on dice. Help us, help them, help some small businesses, and save some money for yourself while you're at it. And I'm sorry about my dog. She's very vocal tonight. She's a husky, as you've all seen, maybe. Can't think of much else. What am I missing?
I think that is everything. All the links, website, Dice Legion. Shorts will be coming back soon. I'm working on them. We've had some technical difficulties. The next few might be a little bit lesser quality than normal, but we'll get them back on better quality soon. And there was a skit out today, so enjoy that. Watch that.
And today is March 28th.
Yes, if you go to our website, you'll see where it sits in the lineup of our games, because these skits take place in between the game sessions and during downtime and things like that. It's pretty fun for us to record them. We hope you enjoy watching them.
Yep. So with that, I believe we've hit everything. If we haven't, then we apologize. However, the most important part of the evening, everybody be safe, have fun, try not to roll skulls on your blood dice.
Yes. Oh, yes. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone.
Sweet dreams.